All right, so let's dive into something that I think impacts all of us. Every time we shop online, book a hotel, or even just choose a restaurant. Online reviews,
Yes.
we've all seen them, those star ratings and all those comments. But have you ever stopped and thought about how much they really influence our decisions?
Oh, yeah.
For this deep dive, we are going to be dissecting an article called Mastering the Art of Requesting and Handling Online Reviews.
Okay.
It's from Now Technology Systems,
Okay.
which is an Australian web design and marketing company.
Interesting.
And they make a really compelling case for why online reviews are way more important than you might think.
Right.
And they give us a roadmap for how to make them work for us.
I like that. A roadmap.
Yeah, so what's fascinating to me is how online reviews have kind of become the modern day equivalent of word of mouth, but amplified.
Oh, absolutely. It's like having a network of virtual advisors weighing in on everything from the best pizza place to the most reliable plumber.
It's true. If you were looking for a new restaurant, would you be more likely to try the one with dozens of positive reviews or the one with none?
Yeah. I mean, probably the one with the reviews.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'd be a little hesitant to walk into a place with no online feedback.
Yeah. And you're not alone. The article actually cites studies showing that most consumers rely heavily on online reviews when they're making purchasing decisions. We're just wired to trust the experiences of others, even if they're complete strangers.
Right.
It's a psychological phenomenon that speaks to the power of social proof.
Yeah, it's like we're all looking for that validation that we're making the right choice.
Exactly.
All these positive reviews, they give us that reassurance. But it's not just about swaying individual consumers, right?
Yeah.
These reviews have a real impact on businesses too.
Absolutely. The article points out that positive reviews can significantly boost a business's visibility, especially on platforms like Google. Search engines tend to prioritize businesses with higher ratings and more reviews, so they end up higher up in the search results.
So it's not even just about reputation anymore.
Right.
It's about just getting seen in the first place.
Exactly.
It's like those good reviews are like a virtual neon sign
Yes.
pointing right at your business.
And that increased visibility can translate to more customers and ultimately more revenue.
Makes sense.
The article highlights that for many businesses, especially in a competitive market like Australia, online reviews are no longer just a nice-to-have.
Right.
They're a must-have for success.
They are a must-have. Okay, so we've established that online reviews are incredibly powerful. But here's where it gets a little tricky.
Okay.
How do businesses actually get those glowing reviews?
Well, that's where the art of asking comes in.
Ooh, the art of asking.
The article emphasizes the importance of timing. You want to ask for a review when the customer is most likely to be happy and enthusiastic about their experience.
So right after they finished a delicious meal at your restaurant or received that awesome new gadget they ordered online?
Exactly. Strike while the iron is hot.
Okay.
But it's also important to be tactful. You're not demanding a review. You're simply inviting feedback.
Right.
And you want to make it as easy as possible for the customer to leave that feedback.
So no long, complicated forms?
Right.
Or jumping through hoops to get to the review site?
Right. The article suggests providing direct links to review platforms, clear instructions, or even a QR code they can scan with their phone.
Oh, that's nice.
The easier you make it,
Yeah.
the more likely you are to get that valuable review.
I can see that. I mean, if I'm already busy and then I got to figure out how to leave a review,
Right.
I might just give up.
Yeah.
But if there's a QR code right there on my receipt,
Exactly.
I'm much more likely to take a minute
Uh-huh.
and share my thoughts.
It's all about removing friction in the process, and there's another benefit to making it easy for customers to leave reviews.
Oh, is there? What's that?
Remember how we talked about those verified purchaser badges on some review platforms?
Yeah.
When you make it easy for someone to leave a review right after a purchase, it increases the likelihood that the review will be tagged as verified.
Oh, so it adds an extra layer of authenticity and trust.
Exactly.
It's like saying, hey, this person actually bought something from us.
Right.
So you know their review is legit.
Precisely. And that can be really persuasive for potential customers who are reading through reviews and trying to decide whether or not to trust a business.
Okay, so we've mastered the art of asking now what happens when the reviews start rolling in. Because let's be real,
Yeah,
not all feedback is going to be positive.
that's right. And the article stresses that responding to reviews, both positive and negative, is just as important as getting them in the first place.
Yeah.
In fact, it might be even more important
Really?
because it shows potential customers that you're engaged and you care.
So it's not just about collecting those stars. It's about what you do with them. Okay, that makes sense. But how do you approach responding to those glowing 5-star reviews?
Well, of course you want to thank the customer for their feedback, but go beyond a simple thank you.
Okay.
Personalize your response. Mention something specific they said in their review. It shows that you're actually reading and appreciating what they have to say.
So instead of a generic thanks for the review, you might say something like, "We're so glad you enjoyed the live music on Friday night. Sarah, we put a lot of effort into creating a great atmosphere, so it's fantastic to hear you had a good time."
Exactly. That personal touch goes a long way in building rapport with your customers and demonstrating that you value their feedback.
Right.
It shows that you're not just a faceless corporation,
Right.
but a group of real people who care about providing a positive experience.
Okay, so positive reviews, we've got that down. What about those not-so-glowing reviews?
Right.
Nobody likes to receive criticism, but it's inevitable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the way you handle negative reviews can make all the difference in how potential customers perceive your business. The article offers some great advice on this, starting with the importance of responding promptly and professionally.
So no ignoring those negative comments.
Definitely not.
Or letting them fester.
The longer you wait to respond, the more it looks like you're trying to sweep the issue under the rug.
Okay.
Address the concern head on. Apologize for any inconvenience caused and offer a solution if possible.
So this shows that you're taking the feedback seriously and are committed to making things right, even when things go wrong. Okay, this is all great advice, but it's starting to feel like a lot to manage.
I understand.
Yeah.
It can seem overwhelming, especially for businesses that are already stretched thin. But the article argues that it's worth the effort because effectively managing online reviews can have a ripple effect throughout your entire business.
Okay.
It's not just about responding to individual comments.
Yeah.
It's about creating a culture of customer centricity.
So how do you actually make that shift from seeing online reviews as just another task on your to-do list to incorporating them into your overall business strategy? That sounds like a whole other level of review mastery.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it highlights that this kind of proactive approach to managing online reviews can have a tangible impact on your bottom line.
How so?
Well, think about it this way. When you address negative reviews effectively, you're not just resolving that one customer's issue.
Right.
You're also demonstrating to potential customers who are reading those reviews that you care about customer satisfaction and are willing to go the extra mile to make things right.
So it's like turning a negative into a positive, almost like you're showcasing your commitment to good customer service, even when things go wrong.
Precisely. And that can be incredibly valuable in today's competitive market. Consumers have more choices than ever before.
Right.
So businesses that prioritize transparency and accountability, they stand out from the crowd.
Like those positive reviews are a badge of honor,
Yeah.
showing that you're a business that can be trusted to deliver on its promises.
Exactly. And the article delves into some specific strategies for leveling up your review game, both in terms of quality and quantity.
Ooh. Tell me more.
All ears.
Well, one idea they propose is to offer gentle incentives for leaving reviews.
Okay.
Now, it's important to be mindful of any legal or ethical considerations here.
Right. Of course.
But a small discount on a future purchase or entry into a giveaway can be a nice way to encourage customers to share their feedback.
That makes sense. It's like a little thank you for taking the time to help out. I know I've been more likely to leave a review when there's a little something in it for me, even if it's just a few dollars off my next purchase.
Exactly. But as the article emphasizes, the best incentive of all is exceptional service.
Yeah.
If you consistently go above and beyond for your customers, those positive reviews will come naturally. Happy customers are your best advocates.
That's so true. Think about those times you've had a truly amazing experience with a business. You almost can't wait to tell everyone about it. And that's the kind of word-of-mouth marketing that money can't buy.
Right.
But sometimes, even when you're providing amazing service, you might need to give customers a little nudge to remind them to leave a review.
Like a gentle prompt. How do you suggest businesses do that without being pushy?
The article highlights the power of a simple follow-up after a purchase or service.
Okay.
Reach out to the customer, thank them for their business, and politely ask if they'd be willing to share their feedback.
So something like, "We hope you loved your new shoes. We'd be so grateful if you'd take a minute to leave a review and let us know what you think."
Exactly. It's a simple gesture that shows you value their opinion and makes it easy for them to leave a review, and it can have a big impact on the number of reviews you receive.
This is all super interesting and definitely applicable to businesses, but I'm curious about the article's focus on Australian businesses. What makes the Australian context unique when it comes to online reviews?
That's a great question. The article points out that Australia has a particularly strong consumer protection framework. With robust regulations in place and in this environment, online reviews play a crucial role in building trust and credibility.
So it's almost like those positive reviews are a stamp of approval, signaling that you're a business that can be trusted to operate ethically and responsibly.
Precisely. In a marketplace where consumers are highly aware of their rights and have high expectations, a positive online reputation is essential for success.
Okay.
Australian businesses that proactively manage their online reviews demonstrate a commitment to transparency and accountability, which resonates strongly with consumers.
It's like you're saying, we're not just here to make a quick buck.
Right.
We're here to do business the right way.
Exactly. And that message is particularly important in Australia, where consumers are increasingly discerning and value businesses that align with their values.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from why online reviews matter more than ever to the art of asking for them and responding like a pro. We've even talked about strategies for leveling up your review game and the unique considerations for Australian businesses this article from.
Yeah.
Now, Technology Systems really is packed with actionable advice.
It is, and it highlights that online reviews are no longer just a passive part of doing business in the digital age.
Right.
They're a dynamic tool that can be leveraged to build trust, enhance your reputation, and ultimately drive success. But it requires a proactive and strategic approach.
It's like we've been talking about this whole time. It's about moving beyond simply collecting those stars.
Right.
And actually integrating online reviews into your overall business strategy.
Exactly. And that involves a shift in mindset from seeing online reviews as something you have to do to seeing them as an opportunity to connect with your customers, build relationships, and continuously improve.
I love that because it takes the fear and dread out of online reviews and reframes them as a positive force for growth. But, we've been focusing on businesses for a while now.
Right.
What about us as consumers? How do we navigate this world of online reviews and use them to our advantage?
That's a great question. And honestly, it's something I think about all the time because, as we've discussed online, reviews are incredibly influential, shaping our perceptions of businesses, products, and services.
Yeah.
They guide our purchasing decisions.
They're like our virtual advisors whispering in our ears, try this restaurant, avoid that hotel, buy this gadget.
Exactly. But with so much information out there, it can be overwhelming. How do we know which reviews to trust? How do we separate the wheat from the chaff? And how do we avoid falling prey to fake reviews or biased opinions?
And with the rise of AI-generated reviews, things are getting even trickier. It's like we need a whole new set of skills to navigate the online review landscape effectively.
Yeah. I completely agree. We need to develop our critical thinking skills, learn how to spot red flags, and become more discerning consumers of online information, because ultimately the responsibility lies with each of us to evaluate online reviews carefully and make informed decisions based on the best available information.
So what's the first step in becoming a more savvy consumer of online reviews? How do we even begin to sift through all the noise and find the nuggets of truth?
Well, it can feel like a real challenge, can't it? You're bombarded with reviews, and it's hard to know what to believe.
It is.
I think the first thing is to remember that not all reviews are created equal.
Right.
Some reviews are going to be more helpful than others.
Right.
And it's up to each of us as consumers to develop those critical thinking skills so we can discern the valuable insights from the noise.
Okay, so how do we do that? Where do we even begin?
One of the simplest strategies, and this is something the article touches on indirectly, is to be wary of extremes. If a review is overly effusive, like filled with nothing but praise, it might raise a red flag. And the same goes for reviews that are overwhelmingly negative.
It's like if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Exactly. Now, that's not to say that all glowing reviews are fake.
Right.
But it's a good idea to approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay.
Look for reviews that provide specific details and examples, rather than just vague generalizations.
So it's like the difference between someone saying this product is amazing versus this blender made the smoothest smoothie I've ever had. The motor is powerful and quiet, and it's super easy to clean. That second review gives me so much more information to work with.
Exactly. The more detail a review provides, the more likely it is to be genuine and helpful.
Okay.
And speaking of helpful, pay attention to the language used in the review.
Okay.
Does it sound authentic? Does it reflect a genuine experience, or does it feel forced or promotional?
Yeah. That's a good point. Sometimes you can almost tell when a review is written by someone who's been incentivized to leave a positive comment, or maybe even by a bot.
Right. And this is where those critical thinking skills come in.
Yeah.
You want to be able to identify reviews that feel genuine and trustworthy. And one way to do that is to look for patterns across multiple reviews.
So if I see the same complaint popping up in a bunch of different reviews, it's probably a legitimate concern.
It could be. Of course, it's important to take context into account.
Right.
But if you see a recurring theme, it's worth paying attention to. And on the flip side, if you see multiple reviewers praising a particular feature or aspect of a product or service, that's a good sign that it's something you might also appreciate.
It's almost like you're using the wisdom of the crowd to guide your decision-making.
Exactly. You're leveraging the collective experience of others to inform your own choices. And don't forget to consider the source of the review.
Right?
Are the reviews coming from verified purchasers? Are they from people who have a history of leaving thoughtful and detailed reviews? These can be good indicators of reliability.
It's like checking someone's credentials before taking their advice. You want to make sure they have a track record of providing helpful insights.
Right. And if you're ever unsure about a review, don't be afraid to do a little extra digging. See what other people are saying about the business or product on different platforms. You can even do a quick Google search to see if there have been any news articles or reports that might provide more context.
It's like being an online detective.
Exactly. And the more information you have,
Right.
the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions. But even with all this detective work, it's crucial to remember that reviews are ultimately subjective.
Meaning what one person loves, another person might hate?
Exactly. Everyone has different tastes, preferences, and experiences.
Right.
So what works for one person might not work for another. A glowing 5-star review from someone else doesn't automatically mean that you'll have the same experience.
So it's all about finding those reviews that resonate with your own needs and priorities.
Absolutely. You want to look for reviewers who share similar values or have faced similar challenges to your own. And sometimes the most helpful reviews are the ones that fall somewhere in between the extremes, the ones that highlight both the good and the bad, the pros and the cons.
Because those reviewers are giving you a more balanced perspective.
Precisely. They're presenting a more nuanced view of the product or service, which allows you to make a more informed decision based on a realistic assessment of what to expect.
So we've talked about being savvy consumers of online reviews. But what about when we're the ones leaving the reviews? What can we do to make our reviews more impactful and helpful to others?
That's a fantastic question. It's like we're shifting from being the audience to being the creators of the content.
And with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Exactly. And the key here is to be thoughtful and intentional about the feedback you're providing. Remember, your review has the potential to influence the decisions of countless others.
So no more just hitting 5 stars and calling it a day.
It's great if you had a 5-star experience, but let's give those stars some context. Instead of just saying, this product is great, tell people why it's great, what features did you love, how has it improved your life. Those details are what make a review truly helpful.
Okay. And if you have a negative experience, what's the best approach?
Be constructive in your criticism. Focus on the facts, explain what went wrong, and offer suggestions for improvement. And remember, your review is a reflection of you.
Right.
So be respectful, be honest, and most importantly, be helpful.
Because ultimately we're all in this together, right?
Absolutely. We rely on each other's reviews to navigate the complex world of online commerce and services. It's like we're creating a collective intelligence, a shared knowledge base that empowers us all to make better decisions.
Well said. And as we become more aware of the power of online reviews, both as consumers and as business owners, we can harness that power for good.
Yes.
We can create a more transparent, accountable, and customer-centric online ecosystem.
And that's something worth striving for.
It definitely is. Well, there you have. We've gone deep, we've surfaced, and hopefully we've emerged with a newfound appreciation for the intricate and fascinating world of online reviews. So the next time you see those little stars and comments, remember they're more than just words on a screen. They're a powerful force shaping our digital lives. Use them wisely, use them ethically, and use them to create a better online experience for everyone. Until next time, happy reviewing.
Happy reviewing.